Only the mirror exists. What perceptions are in your head, or wherever your mind lies right now with this statement? Only the mirror exists. Immediately a picture comes in of a mirror. And what does the mirror do? The mirror reflects and deflects. Both. It reflects you, the viewer, the person looking in the mirror, the real one, you. It reflects your image in. You know, we're speaking about the mirror. We're not speaking about the result of the mirror, the one that looks in the mirror and a reflection of the one that looks in the mirror. The mirror reflects the image of whatever it looks at in and deflects it out. You see? Forget about you looking in the mirror. Put yourself in the position of the mirror. Yeah? The mirror, and something comes in front of it, it reflects the image in, and it deflects it back out. When you say only the mirror exists, that means there is no reflection and no deflection. Until some sort of light or some sort of, I don't like the word energy, but energy comes in to create movement. Otherwise the mirror is completely non-existent without anything to reflect and deflect. So if only the mirror exists, there's nothing being reflected and deflected until some sort of experience, movement, light, something happens in front of the mirror. Yeah? So if only the mirror exists, what can happen in front of the mirror to create a reflection and a deflection? Because if only the mirror exists, surely this must be part of the reflection or the deflection that we see, that we are, that we appear to be in this body and the world around us, and forms and objects and space and universes and skies and whatever. So something has to come. How can anything come in front of the mirror or behind the mirror if only the mirror exists? Please. Your mind always goes in to think, right, okay, forget about the mirror, you see. Let's see what it's going to show us. Let's see what it's going to reveal. Because this guy is obviously trying to reveal something. Where can anything take place if only this mirror exists? Okay, you're saying this is made up, hypothetical. This is truth. This is absolute truth. So the mirror has to produce something from within itself to reflect and deflect if the mirror is all that exists. So the mirror produces from an act of singular, one mirror, love, its own life, consciousness, its own consciousness, its own idea. I want to know what I am. I don't know I'm a mirror, you see. I want to know what I am. And to do this, I have to create something so that I can reflect and deflect myself off. You see, we're always led to believe that the one that looks in the mirror and the result of the looking in the mirror, the mountain with its reflection on the lake, are the two important things. We don't assume how it happens. See, when you look in a mirror in your bathroom, you don't really analyze the mirror and say, well, you know, I'm so glad about the mirror. You're always looking at what you look like. You're always interested in you, the looker, and what this deflected image is, and if you like it or not. That's why the mind can never ever understand why anyone would want to awaken or become enlightened or to surrender or to give up or to establish this truth Because the mind knows that you're always the truth. The mirror is always you. Okay? How does the mirror, let's go back. How does the mirror work? It produces its own consciousness. And to produce its own consciousness, it has to produce two types of consciousness. One type split into two, dark and light. Because without darkness, we cannot see the light. And without light, we cannot see the darkness. As soon as these two opposing energies are created, we have two of everything. Man, woman. Because without one, we will not know the other. Okay? So when darkness and light as one split and became two, it is birth, you see. It is a type of birth. Yeah? You understand? And then from two, they merge again, mother and father. They merge to produce one, and two, and one, and two, and one. But the object of this is to tell you that's how it began, you see. The mirror is the only thing that exists. It created life within itself. It created its conscious life within itself. And to see it, to understand it, to acknowledge it, to realize it, it had to create two. So there are two for every thing. Hot, cold. Yeah, pain, pleasure. There are always two opposing sides. So you have to experience both or you won't know what the other side is. That's what mind says. That's mind's job. Mind's job is to say, right, okay, he's experienced what we know as pleasure, but he's not really excited about it. Okay, so let's give him some pain. And then pleasure again. Oh, I understand pleasure now. You know, you understand pleasure and pain at the same time then. Two have to come together for the mind to say that's pleasure, that's pain, and then one understanding. They become one. Yeah, the reason for understanding one is to become two and return to one. That's singular non-duality, duality, and then wholeness, whole non-duality, returning to initial true state of the mirror. Yeah? The mirror is totality. Consciousness comes from totality. So God, everything that is born as a reflection and a deflection of this mirror is totality. But you're a three-way thing, you see. You're a form body, yeah, which is a something world from the mirror. The mirror produces a form to reflect it. So the mirror is now the creator of consciousness, and it is also consciousness, the creator of them, been created by the mirror, then goes on to create form, something, and spirit, or formlessness, nothing. So you are a form body, you are also a spiritual body, a soul body, right now, and you're also the mirror. That's how far back you stretch into, if you want to call it, time. You are never out of the beginning, you see. Your umbilical cord is simply consciousness within the light, creating. You have an idea that you are existing as a human, a form. You have an idea that you are a spirit or a soul. Deep sleep is a great example of spirit and soul. Or if you go through this process of meditation, awakening, you will experience emptiness, nothingness, where you dissolve, you disappear, you become nothing. But what's happening is, right now, if you're experiencing that you are the body, your something side is appearing in front of the mirror that is within you, and your nothing side is being completely ignored. So the body still exists, the nobody still exists, and the mirror is right in the middle, shining both ways. So when you merge into this nothing side, your nothing body comes forward, you only experience nothing, but your physical form body is still there. So many fear death that does not exist. You see, death had to be given birth with birth. You see, death had to be given birth when birth came, two opposing states. You'll go through life experiencing every opposing state, and you'll never, ever, ever experience one permanently. The only one that you'll experience permanently is when you are the mirror, when you are solely the mirror. The only time you can become solely the mirror is when everything that shines from your mirror, from the mirror, ceases to exist. So whilst the world goes on, whether you are in a body or out of the body, you are never anywhere else except within the state of consciousness. As what? It's nothing to worry about. But the fact is, we either all go or none of us go. Yeah? And when we do all go, each one of us will have experienced this mirror, being this mirror whilst in some sort of form state and formless state. We cannot speak on behalf of animals, but as a human, it is fact that you can experience this in-between state, this stateless state, this mirror state, where you know, you see, you realize your form body, and you also see your soul body, your spiritual body. The Holy Spirit is always within you. Form life is always within you. Conscious life is all of you. And the mirror is godliness. So the point of this video is to say you feel as though you're an insignificant human being. And that's all right. That's quite a great experience. Because the great experience is becoming so insecure, insignificant, minor, mini you, and then awakening and enlightening and becoming totally no you, the other state, to realize that both of these states are humongous states. To value the human body, I mean, it's a miracle. All these things inside, all these blood vessels, hearts, organs, atoms, molecules, breath, keeping you pumping alive with no effort. You don't use any effort to keep yourself alive. You're just solely dependent on this body. It is an absolute miracle. Science cannot understand it. Biology cannot understand it. They're just in awe of life. So, and when you experience the nobody, you become infinite space, emptiness, silence, stillness. Yeah? And the returning, or if you choose, or something chooses you to go to a further state, you can go to the door of life, the beginning, as Rumi did. As this speaker fortunately was granted this pass to visit this wordless, speechless love. The mirror on its own is really nothing without consciousness. Consciousness, what we are doing as this mirror, is taking all this in, this empty life, this full life, and taking it home to go within the mirror. Because the mirror is not flat. The mirror is infinite, invisible silence. To go within this infinite silence. Consciousness is external of the mirror. It is always. Consciousness is the mirror, you see. But the mirror is what you would call flat line of consciousness before it gives itself birth. You have a spine, but with no flesh around it, it is of no use. Everything is built around a spine. This is the external world. Within this spine is the internal world. Before spine is born, soul, spirit exists. But the spine, hypothetically, is the creator of itself. You see, it creates itself. The mirror with no consciousness exists. It is infinite stillness. We are that, but we don't know anything about this external world until we have appeared in a human body and a soul body. And all that we take back is what we take back. You don't have to take back intelligence and words and experiences and relationships and stories. You're using this body right now as a vessel, and you're programming, you're taping the things that you are really not interested in. The things that are going on in this external world that is majestical, that we as humans ignore because of our ego intelligence thinking we know better than consciousness. We are consciousness. How can we know better than what we are? That's like God saying, yeah, you have a hand. And you say, yeah, I know I have a hand. You think I'm stupid? You don't need to confirm to God. You just accept everything as it is. This place that we are creating, when we are whole and all is returned into our mirror-like state, gleaming, clean, pristine, wondrous paradise, is simply be. Be. Love every moment without worshipping every moment, without identifying with every moment, without analyzing every moment, without associating without desiring more moments, without wanting to know about the moment. The moment is all that exists. One moment when consciousness gave life to itself, initially a mirror into universes, galaxies, cosmos, parallel worlds, parallel universes, infinite possibilities that go on every single moment. It's colossal, you see, and you're part of it, you see. You cannot escape your own being. How can you know truth when you are truth? You're reflecting and deflecting truth. You're the mirror reflecting and deflecting truth. When you try and understand it, all you're trying to understand is, I am what all of this is. Sometimes it appears to be fuzzy because the light of consciousness is hazy. And the mind makes it also more hazy. And sometimes it is pristine clear. You have momentary experiences that you cannot speak about. And you sometimes forget about them. And they are the moments that is creating your paradise, your heaven. No one dies. No one was born. Infinite consciousness gave birth to itself. You gave birth to yourself. That's how powerful you are. Not this body, it's powerful. Don't start thinking you can use this information and this power to inform and awaken people and inherit castles and different kinds of power, human power, you see. We're speaking about mirror-like power. The power of consciousness is pure love. And you're that. And I am that. And we were born from it the minute we gave life to ourselves as consciousness. I. And when this body came, everyone's name is I am. We all use it. I exist. What else to know?